Tiger fans, the round 16 teams are finalised. The final changes are in: Jacob Blight and McKelty LEFAU out, Caleb Smith and Thomas Sims. I'm really pleased with these changes. I think this is one of the better looking sides we've put out this year. And I know we've been all waiting for Jacob Blight to come in for about 3 or 4 weeks now. Where he fits is going to be the interesting piece of this puzzle. I mean, it does make sense because of the tall forwards that the Crows do possess in terms of Taylor Walker, Fogarty and Thilthorpe. I really hope we don't make one of the tall sub because they're both named on the interchange, which could lead to it. As is Jasper Elgar. Better not be doing him as sub again. I feel like it's going to be out of Camden and Sonsie. If I'm picking one, I'm picking Camden. But McKelty LEFAU getting his chance is massive as well. Like I posted the other day, the footage of him in the VFL with the pressure he's got in the front half was so electric, and it's something that we don't have. So when he's on the ground, I want him to be the deepest forward and bring Lynch up a little bit. So when teams are kicking out or they take a deep defensive mark, whatever it might be, McKelty can go from contest to contest to contest and apply pressure and really hurry them with their kicks, as opposed to letting them get 2 or 3 uncontested possessions down the park. I'm hoping that's why he's come in. His pressure around the ground's good too. He's an aerial threat, smashing into contests and doing all that kind of stuff. And he can mark and goal as well. So I think those changes make sense. And, outside of having like a Sam Lawler back or something like that, I reckon this is one of our stronger teams. There could be maybe an argument about the size of the team, but I think it's horses for courses, and I think against the Crows it actually makes the most sense to do. But before we go any further, we did have a couple of voicemail messages come through about the team, so thank you to people who sent through the messages. We'll roll the first one off. This is from Seb. What have you got?
G'day, it's Seb here. Just really happy to see McKelty and Blight back in the side. With the Sims being dropped, who's more likely to play that second ruck? Like, it's probably not going to be Fall because he's more of a Tom Lynch sort of player. They could use McKelty, but they probably don't want to risk his recent ACL injury. It's probably going to be Blight because he has the height. But my thing is with Blight, I see him more as a defender than a second ruck or forward. So, yeah, that's why I just want to know who will most likely play second ruck, and it's probably going to be Blight.
It's a really good question, Seb. Thanks so much for sending the voicemail through. What's interesting, I do agree that in this particular game that I think Blight will be used as a defender primarily because of Thilthorpe, Walker and Fogarty. And what's interesting, if that's the case, was Uze early on in the year when Blight was in the side and doing the ruck work as well. I remember there was a game we first tried it. They took him from the back line to go and ruck, and it pretty much crumbled our back line in terms of their cohesion and things like that. So as a general rule of thumb, Uze doesn't like to take a second ruckman from the back half of the ground. So based on that, I actually think it will be McKelty LEFAU. I kind of agree with what you said, though. I'm still a little bit surprised if they do have McKelty in at centre bounces just because of the knee reconstruction. But he does it in the VFL, and I'm sure the fitness guys would be all over what's required to be able to do it. The only other thing that could happen is if maybe we run with a Broad or someone like that on Fogarty, for example, and maybe Blight does roam around and play forward, then play ruck off the bench and just interchanges between there. But yeah, if Blight does line up on the ground in a key position defensive spot, I don't think he'll do too much ruck work unless he goes to the interchange then comes back on. But either could do it. It's good to have options. I mean, if nothing else, Jonty Fall or Lynch or whoever, they can do some forward 50 rucking, as could LEFAU. It will be interesting, but I think, yeah, if Blight lines up as a defender, I reckon we'll see McKelty do it. But it could be a mixed bag of all three, but it's a great question. It's going to be fascinating to see what we do, especially because Thilthorpe's their backup ruckman. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we do there. But thank you, Seb. And we had another question come through from Greg.
Yeah, hi, this is Greg Whitehead. I'm glad that Blight's in and I'm glad that LEFAU's in, but to me, we've got too many tools, so I can't see any other option but one of those two being sub, and I hope that's not the case. But we have to wait and see. But about time they brought Blight back in. I think every Richmond supporter thinks that. But yeah, we just look like we've got too many tools, in my opinion.
Oh, you bang on, Greg. Thanks for sending through the voicemail message. Bang on about everybody wanting Blight to come in. I think normally you would be spot on about being too tall. I just think for this, Adelaide are one of the very, very rare teams that have three genuine big key forwards that are dangerous. Carlton have obviously got two, so you can get away with not playing that third tall. But I reckon Adelaide almost stand alone in this category. So it almost demands it. And as we were talking about on the behind frenemy lines the other night, you can't afford to not pay one of those big forwards respect. If we half-ass it and try and put an undersized player on one of them, they will get off the chain and dominate us. So I think it's a bit of a sign of showing respect to the forwards we're coming up against. Normally, yeah, I would agree that we're tall, but we've kind of just gone pound for pound with them. And we've kind of got to back our guys in to be a bit more nimble and agile to work off Tex Walker, to work off Fogarty. And maybe Blight becomes a bit more versatile and can play up at either end to help out at various stages. But you're right, it's good that Blighty's in. And I agree, I don't think we should play any of them as sub. LEFAU as sub wouldn't make sense whatsoever. Neither would Jacob Blight, to be honest. I feel like the sub rolls out of McIntosh and Sonzi. I'm excluding Jasper because you have to exclude. He's got to play a full game. But keen to hear what everybody else thinks about the changes. I think this is one of our better teams for the year. Doesn't mean we're going to win or play significantly better, but I think this blend up forward with Jonty Fall, Lynch and LEFAU gives us a better chance to bring the ball to ground, to get our smalls into the game more, to give ourselves more chances to score. I'm hoping that happens because I've been banging on about it for about 4 weeks now, and I'd love to be proven right. But yeah, fingers crossed we'll see how it plays out. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Are you happy with the changes? Who else would you have gone with? And yeah, we'll see how we go on Sunday. Go Tigers.